Hello, my name is Christian Demetrius, and today I'll be showing you how to burn a DVD on our RealEyes digital video recorders. The first step is to log into your system using your administrative ID and password that was set up for you the day your system was installed. To log in, simply press the L key on your keyboard, which will bring up the login box on your display. Type in your ID, followed by your password, and then press the Enter key on your keyboard. If logged in correctly, the login box will go away without any errors. Once logged in, we need to navigate to the playback menu. The playback menu can be accessed by pressing the F10 key on your keyboard. After a few moments, your playback menu will be displayed. Once your playback menu comes up, there's a few areas you need to take note of. To select your camera in the top corner here, where it lists camera number 1, you have a drop-down menu to the right. By selecting this drop-down, you'll see your list of cameras here. Beneath your drop-down menu for your cameras, you have your selected dates that are listed out, and beneath your dates are all the video events that were recorded on that particular camera for that date that's selected. Now, a useful option that's available for you in the playback menu is the Mark Never Recycle option. Now, if you only have one individual event that you would like to do this for, you can take your mouse and left-click on whichever time it is. Once that's selected, you'll right-click on that event, and you'll see the Mark Never Recycle option. Now, if you have a block of video that you would like to get, if an event took place over a consecutive amount of time, there's a way to do that as well. By left-clicking on your first event, then holding your Shift key down and selecting your last event, you'll see that highlighted selection appear. Now, if you were to take your mouse and right-click anywhere within your blue highlighted area, you'll see the option again for Mark Never Recycle. By selecting this option, a padlock will appear next to the selected times. These events are now locked, so when it's time for the system to start recycling old video, these events will not be erased unless you go back and unmark the events Never Recycle. Now, to unmark the events, it's the same process as marking them. Since we still have our highlighted block here, I'll just take my mouse and right-click anywhere within this group, and you'll see the option for Unmark Never Recycle. By doing this, the padlocks will disappear and the check marks will be back. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark these back to Never Recycle and put our padlocks back, because this will be useful when I'm showing you the process of actually how to use this option when we do the burn later on. By selecting the option, it's useful when it's time to select specific times or events that are wanted for the burn. If you ever have to reference these events at a later time or make more backups, they will be available with the padlock marking. Once you have gathered all the necessary information needed, we need to navigate to the backup menu. On the right side of the playback menu, there are a row of 7 circular buttons. Our backup icon is the last button on the bottom of this row. It's noted with 2 rectangular boxes with an arrow going between them. Click the backup button to launch the backup utility. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can back up your video. You can back up your video to a CD/DVD or to a separate hard drive, meaning an external, a flash, etc. Select using CD/DVD to back up directly to a disk, or select the using hard disk option to back up to a hard drive. Now, if you're doing the using hard disk option, you'll come up here with your mouse, we'll select this button right here, and we want to make sure we take our mouse over and we need to click on the box that contains these 3 dots. By doing this, we're opening up and browsing and trying to find the drive that you would like to back up your video to. So scroll down here, it will show you your list of drives. So we'll select our drive and click OK. Now that drive's selected to do the backup to. Once that's selected, the only other option you need to make sure is checked is your Include the View Log Player. It's down here underneath your Add Time Frame white window, and you just want to make sure that this checkbox is selected. Now, if you're using a CD or a DVD, you want to make sure that this option, the CD/DVD selection, is selected. When using this method, we need to pay attention to the use size, which is displayed in this Media Information section beneath where we just selected the using CD/DVD. This will show you the used size of the information being burned to the disk, as well as the remaining free size left. This must be less than 700 megabytes for a CD and less than 4.7 gigabytes for a DVD. Our next step is to select the Add Time Frame button below the Media Information section. This will allow us to select which videos to back up and also to plug in the information that we took note of earlier in the playback menu. Once you select the Add Time Frame button, a separate menu will pop up labeled as Select Backup Time. Within this menu, there's several sections where we'll be keying in our information that we took note of earlier. Under the Time Period section, we have areas to plug in our start time, our end time, followed by our start date and our end date. To the right of this section is the Select Camera area. Here you will see your list of cameras with check marks contained next to each and every one of them, followed by two columns to the right-hand side. The right-hand column indicates the number of video and audio events within the selected time frame. You can also select whether to back up video, audio, or video plus audio, which right now you have a drop-down menu at the bottom and you're looking at video and audio events. Your video events will be contained in this first column and our audio events will be contained in the right column. The other section that's important in here is your information section. Now you have a few options here, such as your database files, object index files, your only never recycle event, include daylight save and rollback events, and your bookmarked files. You can safely disregard the database files and your object index files. The option that we do want to pay attention to is our only never recycled event button. By clicking this, in theory, what we're doing is telling the machine to search for just those events that we put the padlock next to earlier and marked never recycle. Now, if you remember, we were on camera number 1, which if you look up here in our select camera area, camera number 1 is the only one showing any video information to the left. So there was 14 events that got locked up, plus 3 audio events that were locked up. This really helps out when you have a lot of video that you want to go through and you want to be able just to limit it down to just a few select videos or a few select events that took place. So when you mark those videos up, instead of having to go through and scroll and watch a lot of video or remember exact times and exact dates, when you select that only never recycled event, it automatically tells the system to look for just the events that you keyed in on that were important to you at that time. Once we have all of that information selected, we're going to come down here to our OK button and click the OK. This is going to take us back to the first backup menu. Once we're in the backup menu again, if you look back to your use size, it will show you the amount of data that those 14 events plus the 3 audio events are taking up on the disk. Click OK once more to start the burn process. Once the burn has finished, backing up to a CD or a DVD, your disk will automatically eject from your system. The disk must be played on another computer for viewing. I hope that these steps were useful in properly backing up video on our RealEyes digital video recorders. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to call us and talk to our support at 1-800-228-8909. Once again, I hope all these tips were useful and that you had a successful learning session, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.